Now this is an episode I really enjoyed. Not only did they have heartwarming moments, it had some high-speed action. The action could maybe have been a little bit faster, but this is still nonetheless a very awesome episode of the high school DXD episode. What is it? 12 or is this 11? Well, it all depends on how you look at it. Either way, the matches are about to wrap up as Sayawog enters the scene, fighting against Rosvaiso, uh, Yuto, and Senovia. And of course, Sayawog has the advantage as he managed to knock out Rosvaiso, or at least that's what it looks like. But she managed to create a dummy using Excalibur and wound him, although still will be defeated. Cyborg's fighting spirit is in fact so powerful that it's shining bright. However, if you ask me, I think that is also Toki. Isn't that something that is learned in Senjutsu in this story? But they don't mention that. But they do mention his fighting spirit is very insane. And let me tell you, this is the first time we have ever seen Cyborg completely fight. Before he had just ended everything with one punch. And technically he does end all the Gremory family with just one attack. But this time he shows amazing martial arts skills, both arrogance at the same time very humble nature as he condemns and praises the Gremory team for all of that. During one of the matches, Zenobi and Yuto manage to work together enough to cut off Cyborg's arm, but they still get defeated, so Cyborg is forced to use his Phoenix Tear. Seeing his team being defeated, Issei's anger reaches a new point that when he gets charged to fight against Cyborg's queen, he warns her to defend everything or she will die. Of course, she doesn't take that seriously, so Issei tries to hit her with a devastating attack that, according to Cyborg, if he didn't retire her, it would have killed her. So Cyborg suggests one final battle because he wants to fight against the Securite. This time he says him is Hyodo Issei and Rias against him and his final player, the pawn. Agreeing, and this is also the first episode where Diehauser Bailer is actually talking. That is a big surprise, but I like it, the fact that he finally talked. I was worried he wouldn't talk at all in this manga. I mean, I mean, either way, they are transported to the final frontier. Ashia is not joining them because she is the the backup of all, but also Ashia is not a fighter; she is a healer. So this is the final battle. The kings are in the front of the line, so whoever defeats who first wins. With that, Hyodo Issei promises Cyborg that he will defeat him here and now for avenging his comrades and anything more. Cyborg has nothing but praise for the Gremory family, but he also proclaims he will not lose either. It's also revealed who Regulus, no, who the pawn really is, and his name is Regulus. It's apparently its true form is a golden lion called Regulus Nerma, one of the Longius Secretogir. A long time ago, it was said to be the mythology creature that fought Hercules in the ancient past. But then its power was sealed into a battle axe, where it had a new owner. But the owner died, and the axe materialized into a lion that Cyborg somehow managed to tame. Because according to him, Remus can only fight together with Cyborg because otherwise his power is unstable. However, it's worth noting that in the light novel it's also revealed that he managed to tame him thanks to his mother's ability, because apparently his mother came from a clan that could tame wild animals a lot. So Regulus faces off against Rias while Issei and Cyborg finally have their real confronting fight, and actually looks evenly. as it revealed that the damage to that the Yuto team did to Cyborg is still there, as is even though he has healed his arm that is right was his left arm is significantly weaker. So they managed to launch some very devastating attacks on Cyborg and even makes him bleed. It's during this time moment that Regulus has deeply wounded Rias, and unless a Phoenix Tear is used on her, she will be forced to retire. Therefore, the Gremory team will lose. So Issei immediately heals her. But during this time, Regulus begs Cyborg to use him, as he is also a Longius. At first, Cyborg refuses due to his pride, but Issei says that I am intended to defeat you. You are my goal. You must be defeated by me here and now. I challenge you. So with that, Cyborg decides to cast aside his pride and, well, at least the pride of fighting with his own power alone. And he dons Regulus in his balance breaker, which reveals to be a golden lion armor, as just one punch is enough to send Issei into an unconscious state, where his senpais of the previous security begins to advise him to use his Juggernaut drive. However, outside in the arena, Irina is cheering on with the rest of the fans, saying "Oppai, Oppai, Oppai." And while this may seem like a very, well, etchy scene, it surprisingly once again turns into a very emotional scene, as Issei not only hears the Oppai cheer, but also sees that he is sitting on the lap of Rias, the woman he loves, the beautiful scarlet hair that has always been there for him and has made him who he is today. It's during this time moment he actually begins to fight against the senpai's demands about Juggernaut drive, and surprisingly a new intruder awakens inside the sacred gear of Welsh Dragon, apparently revealed to be a former wielder of the Hakuryu, the of the Albion security gear that Valley is currently using. And surprisingly, he's even talking politely. Being impressed with Issei and his love for boobs and all that stuff, he believes that he may be the key to guide the security gear users to a new world. With that, Issei proclaims that he is not some destroyer of everything. He is everyone's hero, and he's a pervert, and he's also the man who loves Rias Gremory, as he invents a new Juggernaut drive form that actually managed to win over the melancholy senpais, perverted and funny at the same time. Issei activates a new powerful form as he glows even brighter red than before. It starts now. The final battle will end tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Next time. This is basically this. I think this almost felt like the best episode of the Hero one. Not only were, even though the fighting scenes were quick, they were well coordinated here, and there were some very good emotional moments here as well, and you really get pumped up just from seeing it. So yeah, I feel like this was a very great one. Have nothing really negative to say about it. The only negative side is that some key notes were left out, especially the fact that Cyborg's fighting spirit is his Toki that he was self-taught in, and that he can control the Regulus through his mother's uh, taming skills that he inherited from her as well. Other than that, a very awesome episode. Looking already forward to the finale. You give me your thoughts if you have any.